about the last time you really cried. Not a polite tear at a movie, but the kind of crying where your chest caves in, where you can't catch your breath, where you're sitting on the bathroom floor or curled up in bed or alone in your car in a parking lot and you just break. And your dog was there, patting over slowly, pushing their nose into your neck, pressing against you and licking your face, and in that moment, in the middle of your worst, something in you felt just slightly less alone. I want to tell you why that happens, because the answer isn't what you think, and it is going to wreck you in the best possible way. First, let's settle something. You are not projecting, you are not anthropomorphizing, you are not a crazy dog person reading too much into an animal's behavior, because what your dog does when they come to you in that moment is real, it is intentional, and it is scientifically documented. Dogs can smell a single teardrop from across a room, not see it, smell it, because your dog's nose contains up to 300 million olfactory receptors compared to our 6 million, and when you cry, your body releases a specific cocktail of stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, and your tears carry a chemical signature completely unique to emotional distress, which means your dog doesn't just notice you're crying. They smell your pain, and the moment they do, something in them activates that no amount of training, no command, no treat in the world put there. They come to you on their own. In 2018, researchers at the University of London ran a study that should have made front-page news everywhere. They tested whether dogs would respond differently to a person who was crying versus a person who was simply humming, and the results were staggering, because dogs didn't just approach the crying person more, they approached with a specific body language: lowered head, slow movement, soft eyes. The same physical posture dogs use when they're approaching something fragile, not excited, not playful, but careful, as if they knew instinctively that whatever you were carrying in that moment was heavy and they needed to be gentle with you, and one researcher described it as an expression of empathic concern. Not sympathy, not just reaction, but empathy, meaning your dog feels something when you hurt, something real enough that it changes how they move their entire body toward you. Now the licking, this is where it gets deeply, quietly beautiful, because when a mother dog gives birth, the very first thing she does before anything else is lick her puppies, not to clean them but to activate them, to stimulate their breathing, their heartbeat, their nervous system, and the lick is how a dog says, "I am here, you are not alone, keep going," and it is the oldest, most primal act of care in the canine world, predating any relationship with humans, going back tens of thousands of years. So when your dog licks your face while you cry, they are pulling from that same ancient place. They are not tasting your tears out of curiosity. They are doing the only thing their entire evolutionary history has equipped them to do for someone they love who is in pain. They are trying to activate you, to say in the only language they have, "Breathe, I'm here, keep going," and your dog, with no words, no phone to call someone, no way to fix a single thing that's wrong in your life, reaches into 10,000 years of instinct and offers you the one thing they know how to give, which is presence, touch, and the message that you are worth staying for. There are people in this world, good people, people who deserve love, who have cried alone, who have broken down in empty rooms with no one coming, who needed someone to just show up and couldn't find a single person who would, and then there are those who had a dog who didn't ask what was wrong, didn't tell them to cheer up, didn't check their phone while they were falling apart, didn't make it awkward, didn't leave, just came and stayed and pressed their warm body against theirs like a living promise that this moment would pass. And if you have ever been that person, if a dog has ever been the one to find you at your lowest, then you already know something that took researchers decades to prove in a laboratory. That dogs don't just live with us, they witness us, they see us in the moments we hide from everyone else, the 2 a.m. moments, the car park moments, the shower moments where the water runs cold and we're still in there because we just can't face the rest of the day yet. And they don't flinch, they don't leave. And here is the part that will stay with you. When dogs come to us while we cry, they are not unaffected by what they witness, because studies on canine cortisol levels show that when a dog's owner is in emotional distress for a prolonged period, the dog's cortisol rises too, meaning they don't just sense your pain, they carry some of it, they absorb it into their own body. Your dog has sat with you through things they had no way to understand: breakups, grief, loss, fear, failure, and they bore the weight of your emotional state in their own nervous system. They got stressed because you were stressed, they lost sleep because you lost sleep, and they have never once complained about it, never once loved you less because of it. They took on your pain quietly and then came back the next morning with a wagging tail and looked at you like you were still the most wonderful thing in the world. So the next time your dog licks your face while you cry, let them, because what's happening in that moment is not small. It is an ancient act of love. It is 10,000 years of loyalty distilled into one simple gesture. It is a living creature choosing with their whole heart to find you in your worst moment and refuse to leave. They don't need you to explain yourself. They don't need you to be okay. They just need you to be here. And in return, they will give you everything they have, which turns out to be more than most people ever will, because you didn't just adopt a dog. You were chosen by something that decided out of every other place it could be and every other thing it could be doing, this person, right here, is where I belong. And on your worst days, when the world feels too heavy and too cold and too loud, they still think that, they will always think that. Go hug your dog. If you felt this one, share it with someone who needs it today, and if you've lost a dog and this hit differently, I see you. That love was real. It always will be. Like this video if you really think it's true, and please leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe.